Hello, everyone. Welcome to your podcast, Father Hope. This is your host, Heidi, and today we have Donna with us. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Hey, I'm so good. So great to be here.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure to actually get to meet you for the first time. So thank you so much, and welcome to this podcast. How are you feeling today?
Thanks. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. The sun is shining here. I'm in SoCal. Can't complain.
That's so great. So you were telling me before we got on the call, you said that you
Mhm.
are in LA. And I'm looking at my window here, it's dark. And then I look at yours, I'm like, is that the sunlight I see? And you're like,
Yeah, we had like one of those winter days where like the sun is beautiful and it feels like it's warm, and then you get out and it's like windy and freezing. But I got to take some sun in on my face, and it's like my favorite thing to do.
that's so great. What's the temperature now? Like right now?
I think it's like 60, which is cold for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry, I know I'm like don't mean to be an annoying, spoiled LA girl, but you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I'll tell you, I'm actually from the Dominican Republic, which is very, very hot
Hmm.
on there. So when I first came here, it was like 75. I'm like, why am I cold? Like 75.
Yeah. Okay, so you're worse than me. All right.
Yeah, I was cold. I was so worse. My first winter, I was like, I want to go back home. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually in New Jersey, right? So it's a little colder.
hmm
Tell me something. How long have you been in LA?
About 13 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
So I grew up in Orange County. So about an hour south of LA. I always say it's like moving to a different world, even though it was only an hour away. But yeah, like SoCal most of my life.
Nice. So is Tucson more of a city compared to Orange County, or is it the opposite?
Yeah, LA is definitely more of a city. You need a car. There's different neighborhoods and pockets in LA. Everyone has its own little vibe. But what I love about LA and SoCal in general is like we have the beach, we have mountains, we have, hiking trails. So kind of the best of everything.
That's so great. You know what? I'm gonna tell my partner to go look in there because we're trying to move and we're like, where do we move? Well, now you gave me an idea, so we'll see. We'll
Come
see.
on over, girl. Come on over.
We'll see because he's still like, let's go to Oregon. I'm like, okay. But now, I just want to take a look around and see. So thank you for sharing that. Now, let me ask you
Sure.
this. Do you have any so basically in the beginning of the podcast, I will ask you this random question just so that, we can break the ice and just, feel more comfortable. So it's
For sure.
anything that come up.
Did my shirt not break the ice already? It's very bright.
No, this is gonna be trust me, this is gonna be fun.
All
This is
right.
gonna be fun. So tell
Okay,
me,
cool.
what are you team cat or team dogs?
Oh, team dog all the way.
Do
Yeah.
you have any?
My dog actually passed about a year and a half ago.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah,
so
she was 16 and a half, my longest relationship other than my family.
of course.
Yeah. So grateful for the time we had together.
Oh, what was her name?
Roxy.
Roxy. Oh, I'm
hmm
so sorry about that. I know
Yeah.
they become like your little kids,
hmm
it's so sad to me. It's so sad that they don't last as long as, we could.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, can they just be 55 and, 60?
Right.
Can they just be 60,
Right,
But of
right.
course, in dog years, I think that was quite a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah, like long, long time. Yeah.
Right?
She had a full life. I'm very, very grateful.
That's
She
so
had a full
amazing.
life.
That's so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh,
team dog all the way.
all the way. There you go. There you go. I'm a team dog. So I have one, he's two, and he's chewing everything and still breaking things. So that's
Oh
okay.
wow, still? Yeah.
Yeah, still, he's two. I'm like, when are you gonna grow up? It's so cool. So tell me, Dana, I know you're a coach. What kind of coach are you?
Mhm. I'm a personal development coach. So I help people with everything from mindset to relationships to removing limiting beliefs, and also like some spirituality if people are into it. So yeah, just a little bit of everything.
That's great. And who do
Mhm.
you help?
primarily work with people in their 20s to 40s
Okay.
and anyone who's just looking to up level their life, or maybe they're struggling with something. But yeah, mindset's a big one for sure.
Sure. And then you didn't specify gender. That means anyone that comes to you.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
great. Okay. So tell me, Donna, why do you decide to be a self-development, personal development coach?
That's a great question. I've kind of been like a personal development junkie for the last decade. It's just something that once I started doing it, I was just constantly looking to grow and transform and be the best version of myself. And, of course, with breaks and, a healthy, like in a healthy way. But I just started to see that as human beings, that like sometimes we have blocks and we have things holding us back. And I really believe it's like my soul's path. And it was my soul's path to be drawn to the personal development on a personal level and also really be able to help other people have transformation, really have other people just be the best versions of themselves and eliminate those stories that don't serve them anymore. So I really do feel like it's my purpose. And it's an interesting journey to get there. But again, like everything along the way was really ultimately that led me here.
That's so amazing. Now, you mentioned that you were working on yourself or working on, development for the last decade.
Mhm.
So, what would you say was a defined moment that you said, you know what,
Mm.
I am going to become a coach. I need to do this because this just opened your eyes. Like, what was that defining moment?
That's a great question. It had popped in my head over the years of like, it definitely was something that would like pop in here and there. And, they say that like in life, like you get messages and signs. So it's like, it kind of like started very subtle. It was like, oh, coach, like interesting. Like, yeah, maybe one day, like maybe I'll do that. Um, I think the biggest thing was, um, last year, I really had a moment in one of my meditations, a really, really powerful moment where I knew I just needed to quit my job, not have anything planned after, and I just like needed to go to Bali. And it didn't make any sense, but it also felt so right at the same time. And so I went to Bali. One of my close friends lives there part of the year. She's a coach. I ended up extending my stay there and for her birthday, and I ended up in a house with I think like 10 female coaches.
Wow.
And like after I got back home, I started getting Instagram ads about being a coach and I sent it to them. I'm like, oh, how funny, um, but then it just started getting louder and louder. And I realized that really my time there, and I also invested a lot of time abroad when I was in Bali, like in my personal development, of course, because that's what
Yeah.
I do. But I just realized like, yeah, this is my life's purpose. And at least right now, right? I was kind of didn't want to fully believe it and own it, but it's just so clear. So here we are.
Here we are. That sounds like you had a little retreat with them, with the other coaches.
Yeah, yeah. It was really fun. It was a lot of deep conversations, a lot of like, yeah, beautiful connected moments.
That's so great. So you felt like home, how they say, well, I feel like home here, talking about all of this. And now you're just
Mhm.
trying it for yourself. And how has it been
Yeah.
working for you?
It's been going really great. Like it's just I just feel really grateful for the clients that come my way. Like I really believe that it is divine. Like I really believe that the people that come my way are people that I was meant to touch their lives and they touch my lives as well. And Um, and just being a coach for me means doing what I was doing before, which was like working on myself, but it just means like now I'm doing it on another level because I'm, I need to talk the talk and walk the walk like that much more. So as I was already doing it, but now I feel like it's this extra sense of responsibility. And it's been really beautiful to watch the transformation in my clients. Really rewarding.
For sure. Imagine
Yeah.
you transforming yourself. You're like, wow, this is great. But now being the reason or, being that tool
Hmm.
that somebody else needed to actually get to transform as well, that's unbelievable. That's
Yeah,
just
there's just so many butterflies everywhere.
oh yes. Oh yes. You're like, what? Because of me? Oh, thank you. Like, did I help you? Thank you. That's such a rewarding, feeling. Let me ask you this
Mhm.
before 10 years ago. Let's say 10 years ago when you actually started your,
Mhm.
your development. Why did you decide to actually work on yourself? Did anything happen? Was something like
Mm,
challenging you that you said, you know what, I need to make a change? Like why stay stuck in here instead of actually transforming?
right. That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like I had gotten laid off. I was dating someone who just like what, wasn't taking me seriously. And I think both of those things really brought up a lot of, not feeling good enough or not feeling worthy, or it just brought up a lot of stuff. And it was a difficult time. And I was kind of like, I believe life is like this. Like I was kind of like down here. And then I started meeting people who were doing this personal development work. Like, we hear growing up in school, like we have PE, we have physical education, right? And like it's like move your body, take care of your body, but like there wasn't that much emphasis on taking care of your head and your heart. And so I started meeting more people who were doing like this, specific retreat, and then I got another job, and I'm like, okay, if I really want to do this, like I need to like tell them right now that like I like have these dates that I need to stay off. So I just kind of like pushed me towards it. And yeah, I was just really like starting to notice the signs of people around me, like, and seeing like people that I respect and that I really admire and that I felt like were really genuine and real and down to earth. And I'm like, I want what they have.
For sure. For sure. You're like, I want that. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it happen. How do you feel now? Do you feel like you have it now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel really grateful for the journey. And I mean, I believe it's lifelong, but to look at me who I was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even honestly 6 months ago, it's just like cool to see these different layers and versions of myself. One of my teachers says it's like you got like a new soul. So I kind of feel like that.
That's so great. That's so great.
Mhm.
So if you put yourself, let's say you take a picture, right, of you 10 years ago and you now, will you see the
Mhm.
difference? You're like, wow, you see the difference?
Um,
Not physically, but like if you think
yeah.
about where and where your mind is.
Oh, girl, world of a difference. Wor- Yeah, like a little, like immature little child.
You're like,
Yeah,
thank God.
a little caterpillar,
Oh,
I
yeah, that
had
now became a butterfly.
let spread my wings, baby.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what development, but what personal and
Yeah.
self-development is, seeing yourself back
Hmm.
and be like, wow, I'm in such a different place now and I'm so happy now. So I feel happy for you.
Yeah.
I feel happy for
Thank
you.
you.
You're so
Thank you.
welcome, for sure.
Yeah.
Now that you gosh, I'm getting a cold because it's so bad here. Now that it's that you went through this and you actually, I
Hmm.
mean, 10 years is 10 years of working on yourself. It's a
Yeah.
very long time. You probably have a lot of tips for us. What are 3 tips that you can give
Mhm.
someone that is actually starting now to realize that they actually want to change their life and they want to develop
Mm.
themselves, like what would be those three tips you can tell them to start?
Okay, great. I would say like the first and foremost, like awareness. It starts with awareness, right? It starts with little baby steps of awareness. So it's like starting to notice, like notice your patterns that don't work, notice your ways of being that don't work, notice your ways of being and patterns that do work, right? And like be an observer of your life. And what goes along with that, which is number two, is to do it without judging yourself, to do it from a place of self-compassion, to do it from a place of curiosity, do it from a place of just like of like excitement, like as if you just like are witnessing this like beautiful new baby, like a newborn baby, you know? It's like there's like all you have is love for that newborn baby, right? Like often it's so easy to shame ourselves or be angry with ourselves for where we're at or you know what we didn't do or like decisions we made. So really come from a place of compassion. And I would say third is find a support system, whether that's a coach or a therapist or a friend that's going to hold you accountable. It really helps to have someone there that's going to help propel you and move you forward so that when you do fall, because you will, and that's okay, that you have someone that's going to help pick you up a lot faster.
For sure. I love those. I really love those. And I actually love the most of all of
Mm,
the three tips is the last step. And I'll tell you why.
mm,
It's because I'm someone that did not believe in help. I did not ask for
mm.
help for no reason. Like I would never ask for help. However, I was in this mentality that, oh, nobody's there for me when I need them. How are they gonna be there for me if I don't know? You
Right,
know? And I
right.
was telling myself this. I was being like, oh, you're not worth it. Nobody cares about you. Well, no, I'm not asking anyone to care for me, right? I'm not letting people
Mm,
in. And when you mentioned, do it with a coach or a therapist or someone that is gonna pick you up, in
mhm.
reality, we want someone that to pick us up that actually knows the path, that actually went through what we're going
Right.
through, right? Because we want someone that can relate to us, that
Hmm.
understands. Because someone that doesn't understand doesn't happen always, but someone that doesn't understand, they're like, grow up, you're a child, like.
Mm, yeah.
Why are you going through this anyway? Like you're supposed stop being negative, which is what a lot of
Yeah.
people say. Mm-hmm.
It's so important exactly to have someone that knows also how to hold space for you,
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly what you were touching on, right? Because
Yep,
like it's to have that support is really important.
for sure, for sure. And I,
Yeah.
I love that, you're a
Hmm.
coach and, there are other coaches, there are
Hmm.
therapists like you're saying. And I also didn't believe in therapy. I mean, are you serious?
Hmm.
I'm not crazy. That's what I used to tell
Yeah.
myself. I'm not crazy. Nothing is wrong with me. What are you talking about? Then I took therapy. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, it's not that bad. You know? Understands what I'm talking about, so it's so
Right.
amazing. It's amazing to have someone that actually, can relate to you and help you along the way. So
Hmm.
let me ask you something else. What is one thing that the audience or whoever is out here that
Hmm.
is listening or watching us can start journaling about? Like, what is one question do you
Mm,
think we can ask ourselves, or not question, but a prompt,
yeah.
for us to get where we want to get?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite journaling prompts. And this is, so I took this journaling prompt. I'll tell you what it is in a second. I'm just going to keep you on your toes.
Of course.
Um, I started doing this journaling prompt. I took it on in January of 2020. And the prompt is reflecting on the past week I'm grateful for. And I do this every Friday afternoon. And I sit there and I take the time and I reflect on every single thing that I'm grateful for the week. Um, and what I love about this is because, right, like life is up and down. And even in like the hard times, like in doing this practice, right? Like I started this 2 months before the pandemic hit in Los Angeles.
Mm.
So even in the hardest times, right? Like I had like a parent in the hospital. Like you always can find something to be grateful for. And that's something that's like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? It's something that will like I think gratitude, like they say gratitude is the best attitude. And like there's times to actually feel the pain and there's time to feel your sadness and there's time to have other emotions. But I think gratitude is like really like the best medicine in lots of ways to getting grounded and being present that like your world isn't falling apart. Like there are good things. Like you are breathing, you do have a roof over your head, there are people who love you, there are people there for you. And so this is a practice I do it every week. I chose to do it just on Friday, like at the end of the work week, going into the weekend. But really, like whatever feels, and I know some people who do gratitude journals on Sunday evenings. So whatever feels right.
For sure, for sure. That actually, it's a great, great journal prompt. I heard it
Mhm.
from someone. I forgot who it was, but someone said it on social media
Mm.
about
Was
being
it
able.
me?
Probably. It was probably you. It's so funny because you're saying that and somebody said it. And I was like, what? So staying grateful is gonna help me somehow. So I said, you know what? Let me just go to Amazon, and I bought this gratitude journal. And I
Oh.
was doing it every morning, every time I woke up. And I was like, wow, so there are good things happening, right? This is me 2 years
Mm.
ago. And I was like, wow, there are really like good things happening. And I actually left it for my partner. Like I will write and then he will write his part. And
Oh,
for him,
I love that.
it's so amazing. He's like, why are we doing this? I was like, just do it. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. I don't want to tell you. And then he started doing it. And he's like, okay,
Yeah,
So it changes
I
so
love that.
much, so much, so much because
Hmm.
like you said, you start thinking, wait a second, my life is not falling apart. I really have, I'm grateful for my mom. She's still here, and she's the
Hmm.
best thing that ever happened. And I feel like, yeah, staying grateful, it's the right attitude. So thank you for bringing that up.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Now, Donna, let me ask you this other thing. Where can
Mhm.
people find you?
So I'm on Instagram.
Mhm.
It's divine underscore aura, AURA underscore experience.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so they can find me on Instagram. I also have an email, but you can DM me.
Amazing. So your DM is open, right? Like people, if
Yeah,
they come to your page and they send you a DM, you're gonna be there for them.
with pleasure, with open arms.
Amazing. You hear
Yeah.
that, guys? You better go and find Donna and stalk her. See, she has her arms open, ready to fly with you.
Come
Ready
join the
to,
butterfly
yeah. Oh
event.
yeah. Oh yeah. Get out of that cocoon.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Donna, it was such a pleasure to have you. Is there anything you want to add before we finish?
I don't think so. I think just yeah, like just do you. I would say like, take care of your mind, body, and spirit. I think that's like the best advice that I can give. And remember your most important relationship. So just like you're investing in, a car, a really nice car and like a house and all these other things, remember also to invest in yourself. It goes a really long way.
For sure. For sure. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Well, thank you again for being my guest. And I hope to see
Yeah.
you, in another podcast episode. So be ready. I'm going to be inviting you again.
Oh, okay.
All right, then.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Such
You're
a
welcome.
pleasure.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye
Bye.
bye.